Hey guys, I'm here with a quick lesson tip. So most of y'all might know what the melodic minor scale is and what it sounds like. So basically, essentially, it's just a major scale with a minor third in it. So for example, if I took the G sharp melodic minor scale, it would sound like this, right? It sounds like that. So you're dealing with the root, the second, the flat third, the 4, the 5, the 6, major 7, and then to the octave. So the cool thing about a melodic minor scale is that they sound really good over many types of jazz chords, but the chord that I want to hone in today is the 7th chord, the dominant 7th chord, and particularly in a 2-5 setting. So if, let's say we had D minor 7 and go into G7, go into its 1, C major 7, right? So that dominant 7 chord, basically you could use a melodic minor voicing over that. So there's you could either just play the melodic minor scale, basically starting a half step up from the root note. So like, you know, we have G7, so we would start the melodic minor scale a half step up on G sharp melodic minor, right? We could play this, and that will make that chord a G7. It'll convert it into a G7 altered chord. But instead of being so obvious in jazz, we want to be a little, discreet about stuff. So instead of being so obvious and just playing that scale, we could do things to make it less obvious and more discreet. So there are 2 pentatonic scales that I like to use over the G7 that comes from the melodic minor scale. So the first one is the Lydian dominant. So the Lydian dominant has a mode to it, so it sounds like this, and it comes from the melodic minor scale. It's the 4th degree of the melodic minor scale. So G sharp is the root of the melodic minor, G sharp melodic minor, and the 4th would be C sharp. C sharp Lydian dominant, which that's the sound of it. And basically it has a pentatonic because it follows the rule of the pentatonic, right? Where it's the 1, the major 2, the 3, the 5, the 6, and then the octave. At least that's the major pentatonic. So I could play this over that G7 chord. So here's the sound of the G7 chord, and here's the sound of that scale, or that mode I could play over it. I'm keeping that in mind, and then playing this over that chord, right? And it kind of gives it a bend. It kind of sounds angular. So the next pentatonic that I could derive for the melodic minor is from the 2nd degree. So the 2nd degree is if I'm in the context of G sharp melodic minor, would be the A sharp, right? The 2nd degree. Basically that's the Dorian flat 9. So it sounds like this. Sounds like that, right? So from this scale, from this mode, I could derive a minor pentatonic just using that format of root, flat third, 4, 5, flat 7, and an octave. It follows that. So I could use A sharp minor pentatonic over this G7 chord, and that's derived from the melodic minor scale. So it sounds like this, right? So I'm keeping that chord sound in mind, and then so that I could play just a simple pentatonic scale over that chord, and it will sound so like angular instead of just linear, just playing like probably like the Mescaladian mode over, which is the correct mode over that chord, the G7. I could just have some other angular ideas to make the chord sound more interesting, make my ideas sound a little bit more discreet instead of just sounding so obvious and just like, bam, okay, he's playing a very linear sounding scale. So what I would suggest is that, you put the chord in a looper and in a 2-5 setting, right? Like the 2, then 5 into the 1, and It could either, you could play the chord on the piano, or you could find something online that's just 2-5-1 in any key. And just remember the idea here is to play a half step above the dominant 7 chord. So the dominant 7 chord is happen to be F dominant 7, then you play F sharp. You play F sharp melodic minor. So this is something that is really cool, and it will make you sound more seasoned just right out of the box. But you should definitely connect your ear to the mode and scale. And I hope you have fun. Please subscribe to my channel, like the video if you liked it, share, comment, and I'll see you in the next video.